Hi guys, today we are going to discuss what is a class in Pega, so how we can use it, and if you're comparing with any programming like Java or uh, any BPM tool or any programming tool, let's see that without writing the code, how we can create a class and how we can implement the code. Let's see. Before that, we need to understand how we can define the class in Pega and how we can compare with the writing the code. See, let's see the example. There we're writing the code in Java. Like there we have to define the class like this, right? So you can define the class. It's just like class A, and there we have the method one, right? And you can take method two as well. So this is how we can define the methods, and you can give what variables you can create a variables, right? Let's see that variable. Okay, yeah, like suppose like if you general, okay, then maybe the syntax is different, but we're trying to understand what is how we can define the properties and how we can define the methods inside this class. So let we can take another class. There is a class B which extends class A. So here we need to understand how this class behaves. So now how this B class is behaves. So now generally at what cases there I can extend this class A because it needs more reusability. So whatever the code I have implemented in this class A, there I can reuse in the class B, right? And that is why. So let how can I access? See, I don't need the same code we write in multiple classes. So let's see, there I can use the same functionalities, same code there I want to reuse in multiple places. Suppose there I will create class C which extends, okay, and class K. So what will happen here? The same way. So again, if I need the same methods there, I want stored in the multiple places. There, I don't need to keep the code in every place. So I just define in one class. There, I'm trying to reuse in multiple places, right? And this is the way we can use in Pega, okay, inheritance. And there we have the two types of classes in Pega, right? And let's see those how we can use that two types of classes in Pega. And so here we need to understand that how we can access these variables and properties inside of this class. So there is a simple way. There we have to create an object. So just like new object, like uh, we can give a new keyword, uh, okay. So like this, so what will happen? So just like there you can remove this, and here you can take obj dot, you can access the variable, right? You can access you can give that variable a equal to like this. So you can take that object dot a, you can change this value here, right? And this is a variable, and now this is what we can say it is method. So how we can access it? So let obj dot, there is a m1, right? And so this is how the same way we can access here as well. Why? So this is which is the extension of what? Class A. And this class C is behave like class A because it is have the all the functionalities whatever A provides, and also it has its own behavior that we can extend it, right? And so here we can also do the same thing, okay, without writing the code in Pega as well. That there you see, so there is we can take one class here. Let's see, in Pega. So now we coming to the Pega, how we can implement the same thing. But here we need to understand how the Pega is provides you a lot of already predefined classes, and there we need to understand how we can access it, right? And so let's see here, Pega predefined classes like, so which are what? which provide in the Pega application. There are the Pega application, and inside the Pega application, there we have lot of code and lot of rules which are implemented. So in technically, should be a class which we need to maintain our code, right? So that is the classes we calling as what? Base classes. So inside of the base classes, there are we see like at the rate base class. At the rate base class is what? Ultimate base class, right? At the rate class is the ultimate base class. That you can see there are many classes you can see in the Pega API. So let's see here. Not only this ultimate, okay. Under these ultimate base classes, this is nothing but you can call as a root class. And under these, we can define. I mean, there are many base classes out there. So which are providing from the Pega application itself. Let's see this, which are included as part of the Pega application, and it gives you a lot of predefined classes which have its different. I mean, every class it have its own behavior and predefined. Okay, this kind of variables and methods. I mean, there is a rules which is implemented in that class. So now let's see. There is we see here like data hyphen, okay, work hyphen, right, int hyphen. So like this, which are many classes which is defined in this Pega application. So what is this application we calling as? So you can say default Pega application. You can say Pega application, right? And now let's see. Um, so how we can extend. So suppose our application which extends of this application. So what will be happen? Then how does it behave? Let's see then. Um, Alright, go to the paint and I'll show you the example here. Let it go here. So this is the one application. I'll take here, this is the one base application. So the base application is provides like there are many applications like APIs and that I will keep it here like Pega application, right? In this Pega application, there are many classes. So what is the classes we are talking about? Like base classes. Base classes. So what are the base classes? I can say data hyphen and what work hyphen and int. There are many. I will show you those things. So this is the Pega application, which is there are many classes which is defined, and also the Pega APIs, okay, and Pega engine APIs. There we can see here. So this is where we see here, and on top of these application, there we are extending our application, right? I am building my own application. So this is my application, right? On top of what? On top of this, okay, framework, I mean Pega application, there I'm creating. So now here this is the framework. So I am creating this framework. So what is the use of using this framework? There I want maintain my reusable code. Further implementation I can use from the framework layer. So now I will create one framework application. So it will be create a class here. The class is nothing but a class group, but we'll discuss that later. What is the class group and what is the backend usage of uh, okay, class group, and how we can use it and how we can map to the table. And now we can look at this framework application and how this framework application how does it have. Let I will take there I will take K-band. Suppose there is a K-band and it's crossing the like suppose you can say loans. You can say not only you can take anything loans, not the loans we can take. Um, so I will extend here with K-band, okay, multi-gauge and with work, right? So this is my framework work class, right? So on top of this, that I can implement multiple implementation layers. So now I will create the implementation. Um, let's you see, this is one implementation and this is one implementation, right? Um, let's see, this is one implementation on top of this framework, right? So this both are the implementation which is built on the framework layer. And here there the what is my application class structure is kbank. This is my organization and it's processing the claims for suppose the claims work I will create it. So this is nothing but an application name, process claims or whatever it, and this is you can take kbank. Okay, you can see uh, loans and work. Okay, so this is how I will creating two implementations which have the two different class hierarchies, right? I mean, this is the one class group and this is the one class group. And so let's see here, this is the implementation one and this is the implementation two. So let's see this the implementation one and implementation two, and which is on build on the framework layer, and this framework layer which is built on the okay framework application. But here we need to understand how this framework application can able to create the rules and we can access the Pega APIs, because which is built on the framework application. So as we discuss it here, so whatever which is defined in this class we can try to reuse in the okay where we want to be in the higher layer. So the same way we can go here, we can see here this is the APIs and the code which is implemented in the base application is a Pega application. So this is the class whatever I extend or created in the framework layer, which are extending. So internally which is extending this base classes. So whatever the base classes which are already created rules, and we can try to reuse it here, right? So that is why, so without okay taking this Pega application, so we cannot create a rules or we cannot follow the Pega standards and Pega functionalities. So it is nothing that we cannot do anything. So that is why our application must and should be okay inherit, I mean, which is built on this Pega application, right? And this is way. So here we need to understand here how, suppose there is a code, I mean the rule which is implemented in this framework layer, how it goes to in the implementation can be reusable, right? So there is a framework, it is a current class and this is a parent, and this parent we can use from the parent to child. The same way here, this is a parent and this is the child, you can say, and from here you can use it. The same way you can access this okay here as well. So here we are not writing the code, but we need to follow some standards, so how we can access the from access the rules from the parent to child. So this is how the hierarchy it would be. So any okay higher layer you can take it. Pega it supports okay multi-layer architecture, and there are multiple application layers you see. So this is where they keep extending the multiple applications, right? And so this is what, so we can extend multiple implementations and we can extend our business layers as well. But we need to follow the same coding standards. That's we need to make our code should be make more reusable, right? And this is what we need to understand. So now coming to here, so what I'm telling is, so whenever this class A which extended by the other classes, and these classes also behave like a class A, right? And also each class have the its own functionalities. But coming to here, there we need to understand how it can be accessed and how it can be defined. Let's see, there is a class. So let's say there is a class, like, so there we see class B extend class A, but how we can define it here? Let's see the example. Let I will take, there is a K bank. Okay, the K bank is the class, and this is the organization layer. That's the layers we'll discuss later, but as of now this is a K bank is an abstract class. Okay, abstract class. So this class can be extended by the our okay any other abstract class. So now we can take claims, I will take it, and which creating one more class, and okay, that is a word which is adding to the class group. So now this is entirely we calling as a one class group. And this is a class group is a combination of what? Collection of abstract and concrete classes. So this is entirely we created one a concrete class, and this is you can say abstract classes. And now this is a class group. There we used to store into the whatever the instances we created, it will be used to store into the database, right? And how it will be stored into the database and how we use it to manage in Pega, that is we'll discuss more detailedly and then in our next sessions. And here there we need to understand how our class, I mean what is the behavior of class, our class, and how, what our class which extending the functionality of what class. So there we are discussing just before, there are the base classes there we have, right? What are the base classes there we have? Iterate base class, and okay, under that there we can see work hyphen and data hyphen, okay, system hyphen, okay, int hyphen. So there are we have the many base classes there we have, and this is the one root class, okay. And this is the root class because it have the functionality can support for the all, it's a lower layer. Suppose you see here a is the class, right? A is the class, and this is a, it's extension of what? B, right? And C as well. And this is the same functionalities can be okay, you use it at B class and C class. The same way you can see here, this is the one class, and which it is a child class of this at that base class, and it have the common functionalities. If there is base class, we can it have the common functionality. It can be sharing through the all the classes. And now, so once you understanding this, then we need to look at our class behavior. So there, what is our class behavior? There you see the keyword is work. So then you can think obviously that our class behave like a work class. So there we use it to create a work object, and we can process the business flow. So generally we are using the work classes to manage our business process, right? We can define the workflow, we can define the process, we can define implementing the business logic. There we can mostly using the work classes only. So that is what you see. So what is this class which is follows? Okay, now let's go here. So now this is what the layer we calling as what? Um, you can see here this is the organization layer, okay, organization layer. This is a application layer. I didn't take any, okay, division and unit, and this is entirely a class, right? And this is extending the functionality of what? It's a worker class. And now there are many application, I mean whenever we create an application, there it will be the layers, it will be divided as the layers, which are nothing but you can take uh, organization layer, okay, and your application layer, okay. Inside this organization layer, there you see it will be divided as a I mean the parts, I mean the extending whenever we implementing the code, that's you are managing our code in the organization layer or the application layer. So let you see in the organization layer, so there you can keep the data class, okay, and or you can keep the work classes if you want to be maintained in the organization layer. It's not, we mostly you don't use it in the organization layer and the word class. There you can see entity classes. Okay. And now the same way you can see in the application layer. The application layer which is extension of what? Organization layer. Right? First it will be the organization. On top of that, there you create preferencing your application, right? And this is what? This is your application and this is your organization. In the class structure itself, there we can understand here. And now here we see the application also the same extending, I mean the layers there you can see data which extending the application layer or the int. So whenever I'm implementing my code in this framework layer, there I want keep the code in the organization layer or in the application layer. So whenever I choose to maintain the code in the application layer, so this is the mortgage, it will be extending that the layer, right? So suppose this is the data class, there I want to create in the framework class, I mean the framework application, there I want extending this framework layer. So framework application layer, so what it might be the class structure. So here you see uh, kbank and mortgage, right? Data hyphen, you can say customer info. So it will be like this, right? And so the same way, how it would be in the organization layer, if you can maintain your code, just like kbank, data hyphen, and the customer info, right? So this is how we used to maintain our code. Okay, so this is what whenever we developing the code or implementing our logic, we need to choose what where we need to implement our code. So that is what we need to choose the layer, I mean the class, proper class, there we need to maintain our code. So this is where we need to look at. And one more thing, how it will be, the class is, which is defined here, this is a one class and this is a one class, and this class which is extending kbank, and this is the one of the, I mean the class group there we created, it's a concrete class, right? In the same way, so like class A, class B extend in class A. So how we can implement in the Pega way, I mean the Pega way that we can create. Class A means you can define the class, and there it's, you can define whether it is concrete or abstract class. So how we can define the in Pega, so without there we not write the code. So Pega, it will be take care of writing the code or implementing those things, but we need to define the Pega, it will be converting the Java code. So there we can extend, so B extend class A, how we can implement, we can define in Pega like A hyphen B, the same thing you see, A hyphen B, so nothing but what, B extending A. And now here you see A hyphen C, and this is what, so let here you see, and this is what you can say what, current class, this is the current class, right? This is the current class A hyphen B, and now you can see this is the current class hierarchy. And now we can say what is the parent, you can say what is the parent of this class, that is a different, you can say this is the parent, it will behave like. But whenever it comes to the Pega, it will be the different, so it will be the different class. So now let's go to our, okay, here, so now this is the one class, you can say. So this is the one class hierarchy, and this is the combination of three classes, right? I mean, say entirely this is the one class group, and this is the one abstract class, and this is the one abstract class, and this is the entire one concrete class. And what is the parent, it would be, what is the parent? Suppose at runtime there is a rule, it trying to pick the rule from this class. If it is not fine, it has to search what is the parent of this class. So ultimately the parent, it will be goes to the framework layer, right? The framework layer always which include FW. I missed it to, okay, uh, maintain here. The framework, it will always use the FW. Okay, so it will be like FW, it will be include. So it is, there is a keyword, it will be added for the framework layer. So there you can see here. Okay, so now this is the common layer, I mean there you can see here. But whenever it the framework application, there it will be see the keyword will be add FW, it indicates this is the framework layer class like this. So this is what you see it, but I have not mentioned it. There you see the framework, and so this is the class group, so it will be pointing to here. So it will be trying to pick the rule from the framework layer. Even though it is not fine, then it will goes to the what is the parent for this class group, and then ultimately it will goes to the Pega application. And what is the hierarchy of this worker class, then it will directly goes to the work class. And work class is the part of, and okay, I mean the base class. And what is the parent of this, at the rate base class. So finally it will be goes to the at the rate base class. So this is what, okay, multi-class hierarchy, I mean multiple inheritance. Java it's not support multiple inheritance, but Pega it can support multiple inheritance. So how this inheritance is maintained? So there is algorithm to be taken care of. Okay, Pega internally there is a rules resolution algorithm. So that how the algorithm will work and how the steps which are included, the part of that rules resolution algorithm, that we'll discuss on later. But we need to understand here what is the class. I mean, how we can define the class comparing to the Java to Pega, and what is the class hierarchy, that how we can define it. I mean, like that you can create an abstract and create an okay concrete class. And so how the multiple layers, like let you see the Pega application and the framework layer and the implementation, and each layer and each applications which are the its own classes. So how it will be related, like parent to child, right? And how the hierarchy comes from parent to child, and how does it work? And this is where we need to understand. Okay, at the basic level, there we need to more focus at understanding this class hierarchies. Whenever when we developing the application in the real time, there are hundreds of classes out there. So there we need to understand, we need to look at making more reusable, right? Whatever the code we are implemented, that's makes more reusable. And also, like we need to follow the Pega best practices like guardrails. Okay, so how we can implement and how we can follow it, and those things that we'll see later. But here we need to understand. I hope you have a good idea of understanding this. Okay, class layers and class types and all. So further we'll see. Thank you.